Today, my presentation is over gifted and creative children. Good evening, parents. Thank you for taking the time to listen today about this very important topic. Today, I'm going to be informing you about gifted children. More specifically, intensities of gifted children, children who are at risk, and gifted students who are twice exceptional. The more you know, the more you can do, and the more you can help. I know that it may seem like a lot, but many students experience giftedness from a young age but can't seem to get any help or understanding as to why they are the way they are. I'm here to inform you on the intensities gifted students experience, inform you on at-risk gifted students and how they differ from students who aren't at risk, and students who are twice exceptional. Going into this, have a very open mind. By the end, I hope you can take away many different facts about gifted students and are able to seek out better accommodations for your child if you think that they could be gifted. You might be thinking, what exactly is a gifted child? Or how do I tell if my child is gifted? How do I look for this in my child? Here are some things you can look for in your child if you suspect they might be gifted. An IQ of 125 or above, exceptional accomplishments, early or exceptional reading skills, if they started walking or developing earlier than normal, high independence, strong egos, scoring in the 95th percentile or higher on achievement tests, if they learn quickly or dig deeper in topics during school, self-initiative, or that they display a great interest in reading. They transfer knowledge from one topic to another very quickly and very easily. So now we're going to talk about intensities. What are intensities? An intensity is an area in which the gifted child has superior knowledge and cognitive abilities. Most to all gifted children will have an intensity. It's one of the things that they describe who they are. According to Dabrowski, intensities can also be called overexcitabilities, and there are 5 types: psychomotor, sensual, intellectual, imaginational, and emotional. So now more on these intensities. The psychomotor intensity can be displayed as restlessness, curiosity, and lots of energy. This can be misdiagnosed as ADD sometimes because of the restlessness during class and having so much energy that it's hard to focus in school. Children with a psychomotor intensity will have fast speech and make up words because they're speaking so fast they're combining multiple words into one. These are what people would like to call the chatty Cathys. They're social and they love to talk all the time. They like to stay busy and do things quickly. Group projects, do it all right this moment. Sports, only the ones that move fast. They can display their restlessness by tapping their desk, twirling their hair, shaking their leg, or just being fidgety. The sensual intensity can be displayed as pleasure in sensory and asiatic experiences. The main 5 senses, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and hearing, are heightened with this intensity. Gifted children with a sensual intensity can find great fascination in things like words and different writing styles. They enjoy doing things that will activate their senses, such as feeling different fabrics like satin or fur. For people with heightened sense of smell, they will enjoy a set of distinct smells. Children with this intensity can be sensitive to small things that all of us don't even think about, such as tags on the back of the shirt you're wearing. They will even reject certain foods just because of their texture. The intellectual intensity can be displayed as higher level thinking by analysis and synthesis and asking lots of questions. Children with an intellectual intensity think about their thinking. Sounds crazy, right? How is that even possible? They love to analyze anything and everything, which also means their thoughts. Anything detailed will catch their interest. For example, planning. They love the amount of detail that planning contains. They also love reading more than the average book lover. They are always willing and ready to learn, explore new things, or share their profound amount of information about their favorite topic with others. The imaginational intensity can be displayed as spontaneous and fantasizes and uses imagery and metaphors. Gifted children may mix up what is real and what is fiction because of their great imagination. They will describe their dreams in such elaborate detail that it makes it seem like they have actually occurred. This intensity is what people might call an overactive imagination. Now for the emotional intensity. The emotional intensity can be displayed as intense feelings and is sensitive and empathetic. Gifted children with this intensity will have a strong attachment to others, certain objects, and their environment, which makes it harder for them to adjust to new places. They have excellent memories when it comes to things that are associated with feelings, such as times that are extremely exciting or extremely sad. Gifted children with emotional intensities like to cry. It's a way of showing how they feel about certain situations and about others. They'll cry out of empathy for someone else or cry because you remember something that made them sad 2 years ago. Now, something to remember. Don't push these things to the side. If you notice them at home or a teacher notices this during class and tells you about it, talk to your kid about it. See how they're feeling, what they're thinking, or how they're dealing with these things. Get them involved in things that will excite them and engage with their intensities. Join a book club, sports, or just let them talk your head off about their favorite president. They might want to do these things, but are too scared to tell you. You're the parent, so take initiative here. Now we're going to talk about at-risk gifted students. Imagine being a young, gifted child and not knowing why you're different than everyone else in your class. You already know what's being taught in class. The information being taught is beyond boring. Nobody wants to be friends with you because you're the quote-unquote nerd of the class. You like to ask a lot of questions. You can't communicate with anyone your age because they're speaking at a way lower level than you can even stand. Why isn't anyone accommodating me? Why can't we learn something interesting or new? Now imagine being a gifted student who is at risk because of their culture or economic status. At risk can also include children who are at risk based on their social, mental, physical, or behavioral status. Imagine how hard it is already being one of the few gifted children in your whole school. Now you're a smaller percent of a small percent of children. Gifted children include and represent all groups within our society, and we should accommodate all of them equally. Identifying students who are at risk is important, but so is identifying students who are gifted and at risk. Students who are at risk already face many challenges, such as not being able to afford certain materials for school, standing out from everyone else, and failure from having the parents involved in school or social activities. Identifying these students and help them get involved in a program that will help them excel in life and at school, despite them being at risk. A tip for all of you parents here: be involved. Being involved is so important, whether your child is gifted or not, whether your child is at risk or not, and whether your child is gifted and at risk or not. According to the study done in the article, examining gifted students who are economically at risk to determine factors that influence their early reading success, being exposed to parent-child reading was the only tested variable that showed a statistical difference for influencing students' reading grades. Here's the message for you parents. Read with your kid. Be involved. Please. Let them join clubs, teams, or sports that will help them succeed and make them feel involved and to show off their interest. Helping at-risk students feel quote-unquote normal will help them succeed. So now we're going to talk about twice exceptional students. What is twice exceptional? Twice exceptional is when a student is both gifted and has a learning difficulty or disability. Twice exceptional students might also be considered being at risk, considering many teachers, parents, and counselors will misdiagnose a child who is twice exceptional. Twice exceptional children are anywhere from 2 to 20% of gifted children. Either end is a very low amount considering the number of gifted children is already low. Only 1% of that 2 to 20% are labeled as twice exceptional by a professional. It's hard to identify twice exceptional children because they do not fully express the characteristics of being gifted or the characteristics of having a learning disability. The amount of things unknown about twice exceptional children is huge considering how many children are actually said to be twice exceptional. Many of you may be thinking, how is this even possible? How can a child who is so intelligent and knows so much have trouble learning? Just because a child has trouble learning does not mean they can't be exceptionally intelligent. Helping these twice exceptional learners takes special training from teachers, but as a parent, you can help too. Search for the right professionals who have the skills and experience to assess and help your child. Another thing you as a parent can do is accept your child and their twice exceptionality. To know your child is gifted but not winning all of the awards for high grades in school does not make your child any less gifted. Be proud of them and give them your support no matter what. The last thing a parent can do for their twice exceptional child is educate themselves about it. Online organizations, articles, books, call anyone that can help. Educating yourself about it will help you further understand and support your child and their twice exceptionality. Now for some final thoughts. I know this can be a lot to take in for a parent. As someone who wants to spread the word about gifted students, I hope I reached out to at least one parent who can now understand and accommodate their child and their further needs. I included all my references at the end of this presentation for whoever wants to read up more on this topic. The National Association for Gifted Children, NAGC.org, is a fantastic resource for any parent who needs help identifying their child as gifted or getting help with their gifted child. They have all kinds of tips, tricks, information, and articles to read up on. Thank you for listening, and I hope you are now more aware of gifted children and students and what you can do to help yours. I hope you guys will now also help to spread the word about gifted children.